This year I'm going to buy my first car.
How far?
How far?
Whether you want it or not, in December you would slow down a bit. You would take a breather. You would take a break. So in January, you're like, okay, what happened last year? What am I looking forward to this year?
So why is it January? Why do we always have that January's resolution every new year? Do you think it's out of pressure or it's for purpose? Alright guys, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the collab. I know we've been away for a while, but we're just trying to put some things in place. I know Wildflower has been telling me, let's not use the entire year to plan, but it is what it is. Thank God we are finally back. Welcome back to the collab show with Itox and Wildflower. Wildflower is right here in the studio. Wildflower, say hi to your people.
Hello. Hello everyone, it's good to be back. Itox is out of his perfectionist season, so we're back.
So how has it been, Wildflower?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. 2025 has been, I don't have a word for it, but it's been a year.
Put it in a sentence. You don't have a word.
It's been a year. It's been a year. Winging it, loving it, experiencing it, just taking it in. And I think I've tried to do it one day at a time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's been good.
You know, it's funny how we started the year with so much expectations, plans, and look where we are.
Where are we?
We are here.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's just what we'll be talking about today on the show. New Year's resolutions. How far? Yes, how far? Because when we started the year, we said this year I'm going to do this year I'm going to, for instance, this year I'm going to lose weight.
Add
how
weight.
far? This year I'm going to add weight.
Yeah.
How far? This year I'm going to buy my first car.
How far?
How far? So that's what we'll be talking about today on the show, New Year's resolution. And you know the year is coming to an end. Yeah, so let's start with it. First of all, do you believe in the practice of setting New Year's resolutions from your own end?
Yeah, I do. I mean, so if you want to do scriptures, the Bible says you should write the vision and make it plain. So that both you, okay, the Bible says they that read it, so that they that read it may run, you know, so that you yourself, when you read it, you can also run. I feel like resolutions keeps you in check. It gives you a focus. It helps you position your mind on something. So I believe in, writing of resolutions. I mean, not just writing. I believe in having resolutions, having goals, things that you're looking forward to achieve. I feel like it gives you clarity and focus and direction.
Yeah, I get, having the new resolutions are fine, but the thing is about, that's why we have the word New Year. You can have your resolution anytime, you can set your goals anytime.
Okay, but the new year,
the new
must it be new year?
Yeah, must it be new year, every new year, like January you get.
Okay.
Yeah, so New Year's resolution, it's fine, definitely perfect. You can set your resolutions, goals. Those are just what you promise yourself, this is what I'm going to do. Achieve, and then you stick to it. So must it always be January? Because, January is coming, everybody will be like, my New Year's resolution, going to church, do this, do that, do that. So why is it January? Or why do we always have that January's resolution every new year? Do you think it's out of pressure or it's for purpose?
I feel like there's something about beginnings, right?
Okay.
So it's not, I don't even think it's a New Year thing. So it happens New Year, it also happens like birthdays. So you have it's just something about beginnings when you feel like, okay, this is a fresh start. You want to, you feel like, oh, there's this ginger to want to do something, to want to put something together to give you direction. But again, it doesn't always have to be, I mean, it can also, it's okay for it to be New Year. It's okay for it to be at the start of a year, because 2025 is ending now. Everything that we were looking forward to, whether or not we achieved them, they can roll over. Yes, so you can say, okay, because whether you want it or not, in December you would slow down a bit. You would take a breather, you would take a break. So in January, you're like, okay, what happened last year? What am I looking forward to this year? Okay, I feel like it's a guide for the year. It doesn't exactly have to, I don't think the question should be whether or not it should even happen in January. I think the conversation should be whether, if you make it in January, are you disciplined enough to see it
through it?
Yeah.
Throughout the entire year, or let's say for the first 3 months, because we notice that January, when you say your New Year's resolution January, by third week of January.
Yeah, everything.
You forgot about it almost.
Yeah. So there's something with beginnings again. The excitement, that whole, this is the start of it. I'm going to.
And it's not just about, you know, because everybody's doing it. Everybody's talking about it.
So I don't want to think that it's a pressure thing for me, from my own, you know, lens and my journey. I don't think it's pressure. I just feel like during my birthdays, I take time away to just reflect. You
know, your birthdays are like your own new year.
Yes, I take time to reflect. I take time, like now, I'm not counting my year, you know, my achieve, like what I'm looking forward to achieve from January. I'm counting it from June. So there are certain things that I have in place for, you know, for my season. Yes. So I'm looking forward to, okay, so between now and next year, June, where would I be in this aspect, in my finances, in my career, the things that I'm trying to build. So I'm looking forward to it for June next year. So it's not, sometimes it's pressure, sometimes it's just wanting to follow the crowd, wanting to do a vision board because every other person is doing it, wanting to go for vision goal setting because every other person is going. But again, even if pressure makes you do it, maybe pressure, try as much as possible to make sure that pressure helps you sustain it, because it's not just in doing it. You say it as though that thing is not your thing.
No, I'm not saying it's not my thing. Yeah, it's my thing. I set New Year's resolutions. And what I wanted to add is if you are doing it out of pressure, there's a difference between doing it out of pressure to tailor it to fit your own lifestyle than doing it out of pressure and then still copying the pressure as well. For instance, your friend's New Year's resolution is to hit the gym.
Do people still do that in as grown-ups?
Yes. You think pressure? We are still in pressure. Depends on your cycle. Yeah. So for instance, your first resolution is to hit the gym for the first 6 months in the year, and then you don't even like jogging, and then that automatically becomes your own resolution. So that's, we are doing it out of pressure, the January pressure, and it is still not what you can align with. So that's
not what you need.
Yeah, it's not what you need. So it will be difficult for you to like sustain it, keep up to it. So if you are doing it out of pressure and then you tailor it to fit your own field, you get.
Yeah, then it's helpful and beneficial to you.
Yes. So that way it will be easier for you to be able to keep up with it. So I believe in New Year's resolution.
Run with it.
Yeah, that's the word. So I believe in New Year's resolution. I have my resolutions. I set it, but you know the way.
So how far now? Did you get up to 20? Did you? Oh no, 20. Let me see why. Did you get up to 40% of your?
40%. Well, let's say 40%. I won't say 40%. Honestly.
Are you at 50?
50%. I don't know. It's not up to 50. I need to go back and check. I need to go back and check. During mid-year, I checked the resolutions, and then there are some things like I've been working on it. It was part of the New Year's resolution. I've been working on it, and this thing is not working. I said, okay, let me just exit on the resolutions. Yes, let's cancel this one. This one cannot work now. Let's focus on
some other thing.
Yes, so I think that's where it comes in, because the guide actually helps you. So you put in effort on this, and you realize the things that you did wrong, the thing that you should improve, and then you look at the time and say, no, let's work on another thing. So it really helps. So the issue now is, how are you able to keep up with the New Year's resolutions? Were you doing it out of pressure or for papers?
And even in checking, also not undermine now, like downplaying yourself or becoming mad at yourself, because it's meant to be a guide, and there's nothing that says you must have, like in terms of career now. I had plans for myself in terms of career this year, but I can't say that I've checked it. I can't say I've checked it 100% because my career is ever evolving. So whatever I had written down was a guide. As I kept going through the year, there were certain things that I had to do. If it was a course that I had to take to push me a step further, I do it. It's just meant to be a check. So when you go back and you're saying, okay, maybe I'm at 20%, the year is ending, I didn't achieve as much as I wanted to achieve, I don't think that there is a problem. That's why there is next year. That's why it's not like the year has ended, I scratch out everything. Oh, this one didn't work, then next year I'm setting a fresh. There are things that, my podcast is something that is very personal to me, that I want to do. This year there was a lot of delay. I could not do as much as I want to. So and it was part of what I wanted to do. It's part of the things that I wrote down, that okay, shoot every month in 2025. And in 2025, this is November. and not even an episode. So am I going to now say, okay, podcast never again? I'm looking at it now, the year is ending, I'm still, what can I do better? How can I get it again? I'm having conversations. What spaces can I, what less expensive spaces can I consider? How can I make it work? So
who can you work with?
Who can I work with to make it work? I was speaking to you the other day. So in December, I'm also going to, my podcast has to happen. So it's carrying over to next year.
It's almost the same thing with this Collab. Remember earlier this year we were talking about the plans we had for this show, guys. Guys, we have beautiful plans for you guys for this show. But talking about by now,
a very big dreamer.
Yes.
I love it.
By now, this show wouldn't have been here. This is like the 3rd episode. So by now, it would have been somewhere. But talking about resolutions, this is where we are. But we don't have to scratch it out like since we did not achieve that, it cannot work. We still have to go back to the drawing board and see what we did not do well, see what we can improve to still make it happen.
I think I am chief. Use what you have. I think that for everything that I currently do, I am pro use what you have. When I started my non-profit, it was that thing requires a lot of money, but we have been ringing it for the past 3 years with use what you have. We would go out, we would check, because I've realized that waiting, time passes. Like every time I sit and I think of my life and I think of where I'm at now, how, in terms of age, in terms of growth, I see that time has passed.
And you won't even realize it.
I don't know that time is like, look at this thing that we said we're going to do. How many times we had calls, we had physical meeting,
we had plans.
We kept time did not wait. This is November, and if we did not, when you called me and said, okay, we should probably meet today, if we had not made it happen, this today would have still passed and we wouldn't have done it. So again, I feel like a lot of times the pressure of wanting things to be perfect and the pressure of checking and seeing that, I did not of ruling ourselves out because we did not click certain things becomes a problem for us. And that's why you go back and then you see the resolution and you are mad or you are angry. You're angry at yourself. I don't think that that's what that thing is. I think that is just a guide for your life. This is where I'm at now. This is where I'm looking to go. It will never be like this. So you experience, as you're experiencing, you are modifying as well. And seeing just the way you talked about like modifying for the podcast.
So what? I know we've mentioned it during the conversation, but let's just like point it out. What do you think are those factors that can make you not achieve your goals, plans, or New Year's resolutions, or resolutions, as we may put it?
So I feel like one is indiscipline. Because even on my resolution for 2025, there are some things that I did not, I can't check out because of indiscipline. It was priority as at January, but it was no longer priority. And then
change is constant.
It was no longer priority as at March. So some other things came up. But I think indiscipline, sometimes, like you said, in January, whether you like it or not, that thing is in the air. That excitement is in the air. You will catch it. Whether you have to be very nonchalant not to catch it. You must catch it. It's in the air. Everybody is doing it. Even if everybody's not doing it in your face, there's this thing of this is newness. This is new year. This is a new year.
And we are all Christians. You go to church and they say this is my year of this. So all those people that say this is my year of this, my year of that.
Is it your year? Yes, confirm that.
No, you need to. Because when you go to church and they say this is your year of this, your year of that, you need to back it up with action. You cannot go and say my 2026, my year of this, my year of that, and then you go back to your house and sleep. It won't happen.
That's the thing I'm saying about indiscipline. Maybe lack of focus, maybe distractions.
The distractions. Sweet distractions. Distraction that comes in disguise. You don't know that there are distractions.
Even work in terms of building like personal goals now, I see that if you work like a 9 to 5 or if you like work for people, it takes a level of dedication of saying this is my thing, no matter how much it gets, I'm going to keep trying to build this one that is mine.
She said dedication. Let me just put it takes you working at night. If you are doing 9 to 5, you need to work at
that is your
burn the midnight candle for your
you plan to apply for scholarships to travel abroad, but you do a 9 to 5. It is in the middle of the night when you are exhausted, your body is aching, and you need that sleep. But that perseverance, that's saying this is my thing, I'm going to go extra miles, because sometimes I did not want to start a book club. I don't have interest in owning a book club.
Okay.
But sometime in December I put out a post because I do like reviews of books that I read once in a while on WhatsApp and I'm like, what if we have there's a community where we can meet every month to read together and then analyze or discuss the book that we read. And then some of my friends reached out and said, let's do it. And then I'm like, okay, since I'm the one that puts it, and everybody's now looking up to me now to do it. So I now have to now be creating WhatsApp. In fact, in January I did not create a WhatsApp group. We're just ringing it. And then they're like, create a WhatsApp group and then we created a WhatsApp group and then we started showing up and then, guess what? We did it in January, we did it in February. In March, people became so busy. Last Saturday of every month. We had even said last Saturday of every month, plan ahead. Every last Saturday we will meet to have this conversation. But it did not work because people got busy. It was no longer a priority. If my reading goal was based on that community, I would fail. But when I saw that, okay, this thing is no longer going to, people have become busy. I even had to do like I think that we have become busy. Let's close the group. And then we went about our lives. So for you now as an individual who had the desire to read like certain number of books, it would take your personal discipline now to stay up and then keep up with it. You get, because along the way things will come up. The people that you probably wanted to do stuff with, some might relocate, some might travel, a lot of things will come up. But that thing of saying this is my thing, and that's the thing I love about self-leadership. As much as community is beautiful and as much as it's important for all of us to carry each other along, there's something that happens when you are self-led, because as things keep coming, it hits you here, it hits you there, you find way because you are the one leading yourself. It is not based on any other person. Your progress is not based on any other person's progress. You are saying, okay, if I have this community, I will go with them. If I do not have the community, I will go alone. Because as you keep going, the thing is, as you keep going, you keep meeting your people. Do you understand? Time and time again. So
I get that. That was one discipline. Another thing I think hinder us from achieving our goals or New Year's resolution. We are living in Nigeria, anything can happen. So do you think like Nigeria in extension, let me say our environment or the community we live in our extension can also hinder us from achieving New Year's resolutions?
I mean Nigeria, there's nothing that Nigeria cannot do to you in terms of destruction.
Or distracting you. Or shifting your focus.
There's nothing that Nigeria will not do to you in terms of everything that you have mentioned. So we know it is a constant that this country that we are in,
what can happen?
A lot of things can happen. So I work
especially if you are a student.
If you are a student,
you should already, if you are a student, you already get used to our strikes. So no need to
like in terms of setback, I mean Nigeria would the life in general would even bring things your way that set you back. You are planning to get a remote job this year, and then you have planned and you have prepared for your interview, and the day that you want to do the interview, NEPA did not bring lights.
Even talking like lights, that they say the network is bad.
Networking, I think that is even, there's something in the atmosphere that is working against
the network.
Is that period. When you want to scroll Instagram, everything is perfect.
I noticed that you might want to try to do something, other thing important. Network is bad, but when you open your TikTok, Instagram, it's browsing, and you're like, I don't have data.
So I mean, in terms of things coming obstacles coming your way, I feel like that one is going to be. Let me make reference to something that happened to me in October. We did a yearly conference in October, and a summit, a conference for girls. I had gone to this school, I submitted letters because we don't have like so much funding yet. So we tried to do like partnership with schools to use their hall. And we had this conversation, cool conversation. I went there like 3 times. We finalized everything. On the night to the conference we went to set up, the place was locked. Security said he can't find the key. Apparently somebody somehow the key was missing all of a sudden. The day of the conference we came, and then the accountant called me and said the hall is a paid hall. He's not aware that we are coming to use the hall.
Who were you speaking with initially?
Principal and he said he's not aware that we are going to use the hall. And that morning the accountant is not ready. VP to that she come and pay money that he was the day of the event. And you know that the thing is, if the period where I was saying I want to use your hall, if they had said the the holiday paid. I will now know whether alternative or okay, let's have a conversation. How much do I now have to fundraise? So now the money that in fact the money that we even fundraise has not even catered to everything that we have. You now come and then he was shouting and he was mad and he was saying you will not use the hall, and I'm like, sir, please. So
but this is the day of the event.
We do have the event, and he said, "Oh, the students will not attend," and he was so. Just talking about like obstacles, like and my Merit came. She was the host, and she came and then she spoke to him and said, "Okay, let's have the event." Because I didn't know what to say again. I didn't know, like, I said, "Let's have the event." After the event, we can discuss how to go about payment, and that's how we had the event, and then had whatever conversation I wanted to have after on. And while the event was happening, I just asked myself, I'm like, why exactly am I doing this thing?
This event.
Like, why exactly am I doing this conference? Like, why exactly am I putting myself through all of this emotional, exhaustion and just going on and on? And again, I know that every time people say know your why, it comes off as cliche, but even with goals and in terms of achieving things and just going for your desires and going for your vision, that why will help you. Because I went home, I cried, I was exhausted because my tears day here. You know, they had me before. I was exhausted, but over time, since then until now, I have had a rethink to say, okay, this is the reason why I am on this thing. And it is beyond these people. I say to my team members that we don't do this program for us. We do it for the students. So when we go through all of these problems, let's know that, let's remember the end goal, the people that we are doing it for. So the why, when you start out at the year, hold your why like this. So that when the network, when Nigeria is happening, when you cannot see food, when you are hungry, when you are exhausted, when you have to trek, when you have to, you remember that this is what I am doing, this is the reason why I am doing it. Because if we want to talk about the problems, I don't think we can exhaust them.
Definitely.
Policies that come up every day to frustrate what you are doing, next year we are going to see it.
So let's say, for next year we are not paying tax.
Next year, not begin to try to get, attend the event where they talk about taxation so that I can understand it better.
The other day,
I don't even know anything.
The other day I was in the cab and normally I don't pay attention to radios because I get my news somewhere. So the way they were talking about taxation and the POTDC, I told them I don't put money. Because this one will not affect me now. You get. So those are a lot of things can happen. We are even talking about health. Anything can come up. So like you said, knowing your why for your resolution, for your goal is very, very important, because no matter what comes up, you will be able to sort it out.
And understanding that not every pause is failure. Not every break is failure. If stuff are happening to you, if you are having health challenges, something happens to you and you need to take a break. I think that one thing that I'm good at let me just say, but one thing that I'm good at taking, I'm very good at isolation normally. I can isolate from the world. I can just go away. I'm very good at that. But beyond isolating, I also know that I'm very good at taking breaks. If I want to go a month stretch doing, if there's something that I'm targeting, I will do it and do it. But when I'm done and I need to take a break, I will take that break. I will take it as though the world does not exist, because this life, this world, I've just seen that there are a lot of beautiful things here, a lot of things that drives me, and a lot of people. I've also seen that this life, I believe in how fickle. As much as I believe in enjoying life and being here and enjoying it, I also understand that life is like this, it's like this. So when I want to take my breaks, I take it, I sleep, I watch my movies, I have my conversations, I do what I need to do, and when I need to work, I get on it and I do it. So whenever, like my podcast now, sometimes it feels like, Miss, what are you even doing? But I understand that this is it. I don't have the resources that it takes to push it as much as I want to. So it's okay. It's not failure. It's taking a break. When that time comes for me to, if everything that I need is available, I will go ahead on. Now that it's not available, I will use what I have and do it at the pace that I need to do it. So also understanding that taking breaks is not exactly failure, I think it helps.
Yeah, talking about taking breaks. That's not what I'm not really like good at taking breaks, because I'm someone like, if I want to do something, I go all in for it 100%. You won't even notice when I'm tired or when I'm bored, but I just make sure, as long as I gave my word for this, I'll put in efforts to make sure it happens.
That's how it should be. I mean, that should not be. You should not, like, this podcast now, if there was no tangible reason for me not to show up today, I should not say I'm not showing up.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So if there's something for you to do part-time, get it done. And when you are done, also allow yourself take breaks, to also take a breather. To just, if there's something, an obstacle that is beyond you at the time, don't beat yourself up. Don't keep hating on yourself and saying, oh, I'm failing, I'm not doing it.
That's just have to do with overthinking.
Acknowledge that this is what is happening part-time. So that's one thing I do for myself. I call myself, this is what is happening now. It's not like, because sometimes if you don't expressly state it, you would find yourself blaming
the problem.
Yes, the problem. Actually state that, okay, come to a realization that this is what is happening part-time. This podcast is not happening. It's not because I'm lazy or because I don't want it. It is because of this. This admission is not happening. I can't go back to school. It's not because I'm lazy. It is because of this. If you're now in school and you're not passing, ask yourself, is it because I'm playing too much, I'm sleeping too much, I'm not reading enough? Is it because I'm not understanding? Do I need extra tutor? Do I need somebody to train me better? Being able to outline it word for word, just the way you put the goal word for word. When there's a problem, also sit. I have a journal. This is what is happening part-time. This is where I'm at now. Right? It's not like I'm failing, but this is where I'm at now. It helps you. So when you want to start beating yourself up, you now remember that this is why this is happening.
But if you like have those kind of things in checked, you might not even need to like beat yourself up, because you know some things that are in your own control and are beyond your own control, and some things that are your own fault, and you know why you did it that way. So it will be easier for you to like correct yourself and then see how you can make it better.
So when you are faulting and you are able to say, okay, I'm not doing this thing because I've been sleeping too much, I've been lazy, I'm not taking these courses, I've not completed these courses because I've been lazy,
or I've been distracted.
I've been scrolling Instagram.
Yes. So that's it. So let's talk about habits that can help you achieve your resolution, your goals. What habit do you think can, as young people, we can imbibe to help us achieve our set goals, and not just New Year resolution now, because goals generally. So what are like those habits? One of those habits I think can be, first of all, like, I spoke about cycle the other time. So like surrounding yourself with like minds is one of those habits. It's something that we might think is not that important, but it influences. Because I think your goal as a filmmaker is to put up 5 projects for this year, and then the second that you are, nobody's filming. Nobody's talking about content creation, nobody's talking about filmmaking, then you just relax.
But if you can't see your friend, it looks as drop.
Exactly.
Those are you people guys.
Yes. So to push you, to give you the energy that you need to write that script, call who you need to call, make that contact, you get to help you achieve those goals. So you need to like surround yourself around people who have similar goals like you. So that's just what I think.
I agree. People, surrounding yourself, and it doesn't even have to be close circle. You know how people can just, you see somebody that does it afar, but they are within your circle, you're tracking your
even on the internet space, Instagram, you're following the people that need. So when they drop something, for instance, January you dropped one, February you dropped another one, March you're like, wait,
what's happening? What am I not doing? Do I need to collaborate? And I also think breaking our goals down helps, because a couple of times we just want to, at the beginning of the year, we write them, they're so big, make so amount, but just monthly, after you've done the big one in January, week by week, time after time, just break them down. What can I do in this season? What can I do? You want to read 100 books. How many books do you need to read in January?
How many pages do you need to read a day?
How many pages do you need to read a day? How many do you need to read in January to be able to make 100 by December? Because that way you are able to track. So that even if you are falling, if you are not meeting up, and that's what the goals will do for you, really. There's numbers, you're able to track, you're able to say, okay, this is where I'm at, and then focus. I feel like we are so distracted, and this is also to myself, like
generally we are so distracted.
There's one this year alone, the things that have happened this year, every month there is a new trend, there's a new very hot story happening.
You need to follow.
You need to see what has the other party said, what has this person. you would follow and you wake up and December has come and it's not done.
And you are shouting happy new year. So the first thing of all, you wake up and you are shouting happy birthday to yourself.
Yes. I think that's the first realization. Oh my God, this is a new. What have I done?
Yeah.
Then if you are good, if you are good at managing your emotion, you don't panic too much. You see that December has come and then we are eating that chicken and you are wondering to yourself, are you supposed to be eating that you are eating, right? So I think focus.
Yeah.
There's nothing as good as focus. Like if you are focused, you know when to reach out for collaborations. You know who you should be talking to part time. You know when you should be rounding up a course. You know when you should. You know when focus. Just being focused and determined and saying. And even when we give ourselves goals for achievement, I think we should also give ourselves goals for relaxation. So that you are not just relaxing. So you're not just scrolling.
That's true.
So you're not scrolling endlessly and wasting time. So I mean, for me, I think breaking our goals down and just being, there's nothing as good as focus and being able to pick yourself up because as life hits you, this year I know how many times I've had to just be by myself and just take deep breath and just reaffirm myself to say, don't worry, Mercy, everything is going to be fine.
You are doing well.
Everything is going to be fine. You are not behind. You are not, So just being able to pick yourself up again and stay going, and also having conversations. Sometimes we want to do a lot of things by ourselves. Constantly, I feel like for this podcast now, there's something in your. After every conversation we have, if you go, I go. In my head, I'm always, if I say I'm going to get back to you on something and I'm not getting back to you, somehow in my mind, I'm like, Mercy, you haven't gotten back to. Do you get? That's because somehow we might not be holding ourselves accountable to say, oh, you must, but there's that thing in my mind that I say, well, it is expecting this from me. Do you understand? And that's what accountability does. So if you know that you're struggling with focus and struggling with hitting your goals, get somebody that can not necessarily be pushing because you need to be self-led for any accountability to work. Because I check on you today and you say you will do it, and I check on you tomorrow and say I don't do it.
The third time, you have other things. Yes, exactly.
If I've reminded you today, it's the only thing on you now to now pick it up and run with it.
Another way we can always achieve our goals is most of the times we look at results.
Yeah.
Our goals is just result oriented. Like for instance, this year I'm going to. Okay, let me just use it. This year I'm going to lose weight.
Yeah, I'm going to gain weight.
Yeah, I'm going to gain weight. Why do you like me?
Because me, this year I said I was going to gain weight. Look at me. I kept losing weight.
Alright, so instead of just setting the targets to be goal oriented, you're just looking at the result. You should set it on a system, for instance. Process, yeah, exactly. My director always talks about process. It's very important. So the other day we were trying to do a production, like I said,
seeing the end result.
Yes, I'm about the result. I'm just about how we can put the production team and then get this. Now that was like, no, come back. This is the process. If you can get the process right, you don't even need to come here. As long as you have the process right, then everything will go. Put the systems in place. So your goal might be to gain weight, like you said, like the end result. So you will not just what have you done? So maybe gaining weight might be not skipping your breakfast.
Which I'm always skipping.
So that's the process. That's the system.
You eat healthy, eat the right things at the right time. So losing weight.
The same thing.
You're not eating junks.
You're not eating junks. So if you want to gain weight, make sure you don't skip your breakfast. You eat the right healthy food. The weight will naturally come, and then you take off some stuff that are disturbing you mentally. Honestly,
mental disturbance does not always lead to, but continue.
It's can honestly.
Myself is not better for me.
So those are like setting. The bottom line is setting systems, building habits instead of just looking at a result. Alright, so I think we've been talking a lot on this. Let's just wrap up the conversation, guys. So we are talking that we'll be approaching the new year. We are entering the new year. Look at yourself back 2025. Those things that you said you wanted to achieve. How far? Before you now follow the whole country. Before you now follow the whole country and say, okay, I want to do this. So check yourself. So before we close this episode, let's talk back. give us one thing you wanted to achieve this year. How far have you achieved it or not? Just one of it. I know you have a lot of resolutions. So just give us one on this show. And
why do you not tell me this thing because I will think about it?
We are closing the show now. Just need to round up the episode.
Okay, something I had that I achieved.
Achieved or not?
Okay.
You would like to share.
I think for my non-profit, I really wanted to get external. One thing that I wanted to do this year was put it out more, to send emails to people about it, talk about it a lot more, and get more funding, more resources for our project. And I think we did not get the amount that we're looking at, but I think compared to other years, this year was the best. We had more external people that were not like my circle, just new people that I met that I was, because that's something I struggle with, talking to people, people who are not comfortable with about the things that I do. But this year I was able to send those emails, I was able to talk to people about it, I'll talk to random people at events about it, and we're able to get tangible support, from somebody just connected with somebody, and I sent an email and she came on board, gave us good money for the project and so I think that was it. And one other thing that was like in terms of this whole thing that I talked about, something we've struggled with over time. The first edition was a family friend that gave us this school, so it was, but the second one we had this problem of, and then this year again we had it. I think from earlier conversation with my team member was a thing of we're going to get this out early enough, make sure that we talk to all the parties that were involved, but that was still something that I did not cross to the T. I just spoke to one person and thought that it was, even though I know that I tried, I went there a second time, I went there a third time, but I'm sure that there was something that I would still have done better from the conversation that I had with myself to say, and my team as well, to say we're not going to let this repeat itself. The non-profit for me is something that I'm building actively, so it was one of the things I wanted to push hard this year. In terms of getting more people to know about it, I think we did good, maybe 20%. Can still do better in terms of getting external people that are not in my circle to sponsor our project. I think we did good as well. So nice. So
well done.
To you. You want to answer now?
One of the resolution I had this year, I've done this one because it was like the top of the priority on my list, and then it actually was the one that I ended up achieving. I put it as achieving first, but it was actually the biggest of it. So I wasn't expecting it to come that fast, but it actually came. So one of the resolution I put down, the biggest, like I said, was to travel out of the country. I love the city, London, so I always wanted to go there. I've not actually gone there. I've not actually traveled there, but I was very close to traveling there. Amazing. So I got the visa.
Amazing.
Yeah, but something happened. We are strategizing so that we can go there again. But I'm just showing you because it was the biggest on my list for the year, and then it was actually one of the first I had to achieve. I'm not actually gone there, but at least. And
everything that you said, that were the process that was meant to make it happen.
Yes, all the process. The process is just position.
Or just something
happened that couldn't do it. But so
that's the basis of this conversation.
Yes.
Next year is coming. Have your goals. Dream as big as you want.
Big as you want.
Because you have like very. Sometimes when you say it, I laugh. For this podcast, I'm like, it's not just. I mean, it's not like I'm downplaying it. I mean, it's a big deal. But see, like the way you think about it, the way I'm like, oh, right, but we do not exactly get it that way, but we are still doing it. Do you understand? So provided you are working on, I think like the only time sometimes when I'm laid back, when I have my goals and I'm not achieving them, and I check and I see that it's because you are not putting in the work. That's when I start feeling bad. I'm like, Messi, you are distracted, you're not putting in the work. But no goal is too big. Just have it and make sure that you are working towards it. Whether or not you achieve it 100, just make sure that you are doing your best at time.
Show up.
Yeah, you're showing up at time.
Alright guys, any last word for our people?
I mean, I've said that's all the words that can be said. That's all self-leadership. Just keep leading yourself. Look for your people, but self-leadership will always be very important. Be self-led. Let every other thing that can be a supporting whatever. Just make sure that you are self-led.
Alright, Mercy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the podcast. It's still the collab. We are back, like I said initially. Do want to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and drop your New Year's resolution as well. The ones you have like this year that you have not achieved, and the ones you intend to have next year. All right. And what has your experience been in achieving your New Year's resolution? We'll see you on the next episode. Bye from here.